What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be bringing my review for Stranger Things Season 3. Now, this just dropped on Netflix, which is a Netflix original, if you didn't know, um, yesterday, July 4th, on Netflix. So, I spent all night binge watching the shit out of it. There's only 8 episodes, now, I remember when Season 1 came out and it became a huge thing. I didn't watch it then. I didn't watch Season 1 until after Season 2 came out. And when I did watch Season 1, it was very underwhelming for me. I didn't fall in love with it like I thought I was. I thought it was okay. But Season 2, I fell in love with. I really did. Season 2 is way better than Season 1 in my opinion. But that's just me. So, of course, after watching Season 2, I was really looking forward to Season 3. So, of course, I watched that day one. Now, there are going to be some spoilers in this. I'm not going to get too heavy in the plot and, like, going play by play about how this does. Because I tend to do that in my reviews, especially when I spoil things, because I just walk through the whole entire thing. And there's a lot to walk through, and I don't want to do that. So, I'm going to do key things, point out key things, and yeah. But let's just get started. So, this picks up a little while after Season 2 ended. Mike and Ella dating, so you get to see that. Hopper is struggling with that, so it's, he's trying to find his footing as a parent with Elle, because, of course, he took in Elle and all that other shit. But he eventually just threatens Mike, so that leaves Mike and Elle to go about, breaking up, and it's about them figuring out their relationship. Mike's trying to figure out how to talk to girls and how to work with a actual relationship. And then, of course, he ends up figuring out that he loves her, which obviously we knew, but he said it. And so, yeah. But with this season, I liked it more than Season 2. This is probably my favorite season of Stranger Things. By far, this one is perfect, in my opinion. I love the fact that all the characters weren't together, because they had a really in-depth plot with the Mind Flayer coming back and taking over people's and making an army of them called the Flared, which you have Mike, Elle, Lucas, and Max all investigating that, and how the Mind Flayer took over Billy, and then how Billy's building that army for him by kidnapping people and taking them down there. Then you have not Will, but I can't remember. I'm really mad at myself that I can't remember, but Will's brother and Mike's sister, they're investigating this story as journalists. They finally got an internship at the Hawkins Post, which ends up getting taken away from them because they go after the story and they didn't want them to, because they just want them to basically be bitches and catch them coffee and all this other shit. But it ends up they are following it from the fact that this elderly woman had a rabid rat, and they're eating fertilizer, and then they figure out that humans are drinking chemicals. Once they figure out the whole, she goes to the hospital and figures out that that woman is having heat signatures as high as her temperatures as the Mind Flayer. So she puts two and two together. So that whole, they're working on the Mind Flayer and Upside Down aspect of the storyline, which I really like that. And then they come together and they start working together. I really like that, because it was a way for us to see, multiple characters interacting with other characters and building as character development, also with progressing the story. And it worked for me. It really did. And we kind of got to see this in Season 2 with same thing, Mike's sister, and it's killing me that I don't remember her name or the brother's name, but Will's brother go off to investigate this other thing I can't quite remember, at this one guy's house, and basically then they come together, and the story they bring what they found out to the other people. So that's kind of how that does, is half the characters are investigating the supernatural part type deal. The other half is investigating the Russians, like Dustin, the jock that dated Mike's sister, and two other people. Then you got Hopper and Will's mom, So they're investigating the Russian aspect. Now, of course, Dustin and his group, or the Scoop Troop, is what they call their team, had more experience with the Russians because they end up going down to the secret, base and actually figured when they figure out that it's key to, like, they're opening up the gate again to the Upside Down is, when they see it, the key opening up the gate, and that's when it sinks in, and that's when they realize that holy fuck, it's not just Russians and Hawkins in the U.S. And this is, of course, set in the 80s, so it's during the Cold War, and where all that's going on also. So it's kind of odd for the Russians to be in the U.S., but of course they're trying to open up the gate to the Upside Down again. So they figured that out, and then of course the jock and another girl gets captured, and they get Truth Serum and beat the shit out of, and then Dustin has to save them and all this other shit. So that whole part I really did like because it did build a lot of character development for those certain characters. Which I always like Dustin. Dustin's been one of my favorites out of the kids, so I really did like him going off on his own adventure and having a lot more, to do with other people and grow as a character. Really did like that. We got more of that in season 2, and we got a lot more of that in season 3. Then for Hopper and the mom, which is gonna kill me, I can't remember her name right now, but they go off and basically they figure out that it's the Russians because they go to the old lab that, of course, Brenner and all them was at where the first gate was. And they come across a Russian person who the governor actually let in and has a deal with them. So, that all leads to government conspiracy and all this other shit, but we're not going to get into that. So, yeah, Hopper ends up kidnapping a Russian, then getting shot at, beat the shit out of. He has a journey of his own with especially getting beat the shit out of a lot. But he also kicks a lot of ass. And this is honestly, Hopper has been my favorite character out of this show. Honestly, since the very beginning, because I love the actor who plays him. And I like the fact that he got a lot more, emotional storyline arcs, and he got a lot more character development. And of course, he got a lot more action and, killing a shit ton of people. Because he does. He kills a good bit of people in this season. But, the main thing I want to talk about is the ending. When Will's mom turns off the key. Billy, Elle eventually gets through to Billy and gets him to come back into the light instead of the mind flare, and then Billy he basically saves Elle by sacrificing himself. So, he dies, and then while that's happening, Will and, Will's mom is down there trying to turn the key while, Hopper is out there fighting guys around the thing, but he ends up getting trapped where he can't get back to her and be safe from the explosion from the, key. So she turns it. He basically says it's okay, and the camera pans away, and we see the Russians get kind of blown up, but we don't see a body for Hopper, but we know that Hopper was still there. So then it goes, and honestly, this has the perfect ending for this show if they wanted to end it here, but I know they probably don't. With Will and them, moving out of Hawkins, they're getting away from it. Ella's living with them. Will's mom took her in. She's still struggling with Hopper's death because she loved Hopper, and then, of course, Elle loved him, and I love the fact that, the speech that he had wrote when he wanted to talk to Mike and Ella in the very beginning that he wrote, it's his narration over that while they're packing boxes, and just a lot of emotional shit going on. And this is 3 months after after he died. So, they move away, all the kids, they've matured, they think that this is over. Of course, Mike and his sister are upset that their boyfriend and girlfriend are leaving, but you know, of course, they got plans to see them and still date and all this other shit. But it's just that's done, and this would honestly be the perfect ending because Elle doesn't have her powers anymore as of right now, but that could come back because I have a theory that because there's no opening to the Upside Down, she probably doesn't have her powers because I think that her powers and that is connected. But that's just me. So I thought that was the ending, and then of course there's an end credit scene, and the end credit scene, it was basically, you know, in Russia there's a prison. The guards go. He goes to open up a cell to get the prisoner out, and he says, "No, not the American," which they kept referring to Hopper as the American. So, does that mean that Hopper is still alive? It's possible that Hopper decided to jump into the gate because the gate was still open until the thing exploded. So he could have went into the Upside Down, you know, and then just came across and opening another way out, kind of like how Elle did, you know, after season 1 and season 2 with coming out of it. So that's possible. He might have found another opening to that, which I think is more likely. But they end up basically grabbing another prisoner, taking him down, and feeding him to a Demogorgon. They have a Demogorgon trapped, and they feed prisoners to him. So that's where that ended. So, yeah, really good episode, you know, season. I really did love this one. Probably my favorite season of this show. Do I think they should end it with the ending? I think they could have. But with that end credit scene, I do think that they will have something else. Maybe not exactly with Mike and Elle quite yet, but I think it might follow Hopper and Russia, which is possible. Because apparently the Upside Down is kind of worldwide. And because the Russians had several portals open there. But who knows? But yeah, guys, the acting was great, the cinematography, the setting, all the references. It was a fun season. It's funny. It has a lot of heart. I loved it. I really did. I have no complaints with this. I think it was well paced, well edited, really good, well put together. They told the story that they wanted to. They didn't drag it out like some shows would have. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I really did love this season, and I love these characters. Like, I actually do. And yeah, I would love to see where they go with this. Maybe following the characters again, maybe with Elle getting her powers back. But I could also, I would understand if they wanted to get away from the main characters, leave them be. So they had the perfect ending with them going back to normal life. And maybe just following Hopper until Hopper gets back home, if he does. But who knows? You know, we can speculate a lot with, you know, who's the American in the cell. Is it Hopper? Is it Brenner? Is it someone else? Who knows? But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the season. Have you watched it? Have you not? Are you waiting? Did you not know it came out yet? Let me know all that down in the comments. Also, who's your favorite character? What was your favorite scene? Did you like how they did the whole character separation? How I loved that part of it? Let me know all that down in the comments. And let me know who you think is in the cell and how you think they're going to continue out with this show. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. In the description, I have links to all my social media platforms. You can click on over there for updates on personal life, things I'm working on, things I'm thinking about doing, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun over there. Post a lot of good shit over there. So go follow me over there. And yeah, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button because it really does help me out. Also show all your friends, family, everyone that you know, and even people that you don't know. And hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this and the little bell icon to be notified when I upload. And if you have any other shows that you want me to review, comment down below and let me know. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.